Okay, I just got back from taking stuff to donation from the basement, but I just wanted to fix myself a drink and I wanted to show you what I'm using as a soda replacement. So if you've been trying to kick sodas, I think this might help you because I have tried those sparkling water drinks and I just don't like them. They taste like hairspray. But this is my workaround. So don't judge until you try it. But I do this Costarina strawberry vinegar. And I take a glass of ice and I pour just a little bit, like say that much in the bottom. And then I take Pellegrino sparkling water and I pour over it. I'm gonna take my straw and just kind of mix it up. I'm spilling stuff everywhere. But yeah, it gives you that fizzy that I like, that kick in the back of your throat that Coke gives you, or any kind of soda, because of the carbonation. And then the vinegar has that strawberry sweetness to it. Now, strawberry is my favorite, but I do have some other flavors that I can switch it up with, and I'll show you what those are. So they also have a crushed blueberry vinegar, a crushed tangerine vinegar, and this is another favorite of mine, is the fig balsamic. It's a little bit thicker than the others. The other was a little bit watery, but oh my gosh, that's so good. Now, not only do I use these in drinks, but I also do, like tonight, we're doing fish with roasted potatoes and a simple salad. And I call it simple salad because it's basically just mixed greens with my own dressing on it. And I use these vinegars. I do put a little bit of Dijon mustard. When I start dinner tonight, I'll show you my salad dressings. I think I'm gonna do the fig one with our salad dressing tonight. But yeah, I'll show you that. But I just want to show you this drink. It's delicious. You should try it. I think it's going to help me not drink my sodas. So I'm going to go ahead and confess that I am not the best cook. I can get by. And when we set out to do this whole no spend year and not eat out, the biggest thing for me is that when we do eat at home, we do eat healthy, but it's usually I grill chicken at the beginning of the week, and then we have 2 vegetables with that chicken every single night. So we just switch up the vegetables. And I get to the point that I refuse to eat it because it's so boring, it's so bland. So in order for me to do better about eating at home, I've got to do better about cooking. Tonight, I'm going to cook up some fish, and I am actually going to use the fig balsamic vinegar to make a simple dressing for our simple salad. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the aluminum foil and parchment paper are not supposed to be super healthy for you to cook with. Unfortunately, I have a surplus of it in my pantry, And so I've got to get rid of that before I can switch over. And I think I'm going to switch over to the silicone mats. I've read numerous articles on that it's not, doesn't off gas or doesn't have leach into your food. So until then, I am still using aluminum foil. But what I'm going to do, just toss my potatoes just in the olive oil. And I'm going to split them between the two pans. And guys, if you've got teenage boys, you understand why I am doing two pans. Because they will go through this and basically inhale it. I just want to make sure they're not sticking together. Some of them were smaller, so they're just little halves. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprinkle it with garlic powder. Both trays. And then I just use pink Himalayan salt. I try not to do too much salt, but my husband says I'm still heavy-handed with it. But all right. And what I'm going to do, I've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to place these in there. I got to cook these first, and when these are done, I think I'm going to cook them about 20, 25 minutes. We'll see how they look, and then we'll do the fish. I've got it in a cold water bath right now because I forgot to take them out and thaw them this morning. All right, these go in. Okay, so I just pulled out the potatoes out of the oven and I put them in a bowl. So my roasted potatoes look like that. I'm gonna keep them in the microwave. The microwave is nice and toasty because of the heat coming up from the stove. But I only have 2 sheet pans. So, and I didn't think about that when I started roasting my potatoes. So I pulled those off and took the aluminum foil, threw it away. While this is still warm, I put parchment paper on it and put my fish out. I'm using a little bit of avocado spray. And it's just the chosen avocado oil spray. Just to hit it just a little bit. And then I normally use real lemons and squeeze all over it, but I didn't have any, and we still have some of that lemon juice that where I made those $1 million pies at Christmas. So I am going to just use some of this to sprinkle over it. Make sure every fish gets a little bit of lemon. Then I'm going to use fresh cracked pepper. Okay. And then, again, go back with my salt. I need a crock for my salt, but you know what? It's a no by year, so we're not going to do that. I've been doing this for a long time. All right. So a little salt. I have reduced the oven down to 350. So now, like, these pans are still hot, so I'm using my pot holder. I'm going to put it back in the oven. It's going to cook for about 10-15 minutes. These are very, very thin fish. And while that's cooking, I'll fix the simple salad. All right, so for the simple salad that I make to go with the fish, while the fish is cooking, all you need is some Dijon mustard. I do not measure any of this. I just put a little bit in the bottom of the thing. I take my fig vinegar. Pour a little bit in there. Take a little pinch of salt. Probably enough. Then I put in the olive oil. And all I do, there it is, until it emulsifies. Take organic spring mix. You can use arugula or anything, but I just put it directly in the bowl, and I just toss it with my hands. Make sure everything gets a little bit of the salad dressing on it. And voila, there it is. And there's my simple salad to go with fish and potatoes. It's a cookbook problem. Okay, so seriously, I do have a problem. I order a lot of cookbooks and never use them. So when I made it a goal to cook more at home this year, I've decided that I am going to start cooking out of these cookbooks, and I'm picking some recipes out of certain ones. This week I chose this one. It's well plated, and I picked 4 recipes to try out of here. She's a highly recommended blogger, food blogger, and I've heard good things about her, and the ratings for the cookbook are great. So I want to start with hers. We're cooking 4 recipes out of her cookbook this week. Like I said in a previous video, I've dialed in my breakfast, so I think I'm good there. I'm doubling the recipes. Most of the recipes says they serve 4, and so I am fixing, kind of doubling it so that my husband and I can have lunches. So that'll take care of our lunches and dinners. But yeah, so tonight we are having, in her cookbook, the Thai peanut chicken stir fry. And she states that it's the stir fry that got her married. It's the one she cooked for her husband, and 2 weeks later he proposed. So I don't need that. Got my little husband. But I have the rice cooker going. It's got about 30 more minutes on that. I also did a mise en place for setting it up so that I could go ahead and cook it. And I'm going to get on that, and then I'll show you the results when I am done. All right, here's the peanut sauce that I've got mixed up, and it's ready to go. I needed, because I'm doubling, I needed 2 onions sliced. In this bowl is a bunch of beautiful colors. I've got carrots, orange and yellow bell peppers. She said to do red, but these were on sale. So, and then broccoli, and I've got peas in the freezer that I'll pull out to put in there shortly. And then when it's topped off, I've chopped up some cilantro and some peanuts to go in it. Not sure that my iron skillet is going to be big enough for this. I've also chopped my chicken, so I'm going to pull that out. I may break a little rule and do it in one of my big saucepans, because I don't think it's going to be big enough to double the recipe. All right, you can tell I hold on to things for a long time. This is my metal spatula that is still broken, but it's workable. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and heat up this, and she says to put oil in it, and then I'm going to saute the onions, and once they are translucent, then I'm going to put in the chicken, which I've already got now in the refrigerator. I did not put any salt on this because I figured with the peanut butter and all that that's in there's enough sodium in here. Also, when I'm done stir frying those together, she says to remove them from the pan and wipe it out carefully with a paper towel, the oil out. And then I'll saute the vegetables. Probably going to end up steaming them because I do not have a wok, but we're going to make do with what we got. All right, so this is probably getting hot now. Says get it hot, but not let the oil smoke. So okay, I think that's good. Yep, there's that sizzle. Maybe take longer with mine because of the fact that it's in a stock pot, not in a soup pan, not in a wok or anything. We'll see how this does. I'm just improvising as I go. Onions smell so delicious as they're cooking. Wish there was a smell TV. I think the most difficult part of this recipe is the getting everything set up. The cook time is actually very short, but if you want to save yourself time during the week, I'm cooking this on a Sunday, but if you want to save yourself time during the week, you could have a lot of this pre-chopped and ready to go. Now, just so you know that chicken, my husband's big on avoiding bacteria and stuff, but chicken is only good in the refrigerator raw for 1 day. If you cook it, it's good for 3 to 4 days. But raw chicken does not last in the refrigerator but for 24 hours. All right, so that's looking pretty good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the chicken in there. All right, I had to put my bowl in the sink. And that's the cool thing about her cookbook is that she provides variations for you. So if you're not into chicken, you don't like chicken, then you can do, she has a version of tofu that you can use. A slightly different, and because you don't want to cook the tofu with the onions, I imagine. So she does a little bit different variation in there for that. All right, so the chicken and onions are done. Looks like that. Looks delicious, smells delicious. All right, so what I'm gonna do is add a little more oil to the pan. Or about one and a half tablespoons. Kind of get it all the way around. All right, now I'm gonna add the vegetables. And I'm gonna cook this for about 7 to 8 minutes, but in the last maybe minute or so, I'm going to throw in some frozen peas to let them thaw out a little bit. And then what I'll do is add the chicken back in and then add the chicken onions back in, and then add the peanut sauce and stir it all together, and it cooks for 2 minutes after that. And once that's done, I add the cilantro and peanuts, stir it up, and then it's ready to serve over rice, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So it's looking delicious. Haven't tasted it yet, but I'm gonna put my cilantro in and stir it up. And the peanuts. Oh my gosh, this is delightful. All right, so I already got my brown rice. Finished up just a few minutes ago, so it's nice and hot. It's probably my husband's version because it's a little bit big for me, but my gosh, it looks good. Let me try it. Excuse me while I get a fork. Go get some chicken, some rice. Oh, it's so hot. It's really good. And wasn't a huge fan of curry. And so this has red Thai curry in it. But you know what? I remember my husband taking me to a restaurant one time, and he decided to order for me because he was wanting to show me this little small town girl coming to this big city. I want to show her how real Thai food tastes, and he ordered my food for me, and it smelled like licorice, and I hate licorice. So I pushed it across the table, and I made him go get me fast food for dinner. But I also did not like the taste of basil when we first got married, but now I have a basil plant over here, and I want to grow some basil, but I haven't had any luck yet. But yeah, I think my tastes are changing. It's got a little heat to it, but not too much, but it's got sweetness from honey. I definitely recommend trying. So, look behind me. Do you see that white stuff? I know a lot of you probably live in places you get it all the time, but we don't. We have not seen this beautiful stuff in probably 7 years, at least not in a significant amount. And all of us are so excited to have it. Now, tonight it's supposed to go and freeze again, and we will have ice everywhere. That's not going to be as much fun, but we did get out in it this morning. I did my morning walk, and even in the snow, if it ices over tonight, then tomorrow morning I'll probably just do yoga. But I wanted to talk about my first week, and I started cooking out of one of my recipe books that I have an abundant mass of to keep us from eating out. And there was one recipe that everyone said that it was definitely a keeper, but I will go through the different things that I cooked this week out of this cookbook. So Sunday night I made the Thai peanut chicken stir fry, and that is what is going to remain a keeper. I made a kickin' black pepper pork stir fry. Everyone said it was okay. It was good. Seriously, nothing was remotely bad. Wednesday night, I cooked the caprese chicken skillet. That was really good. They liked that one. They just didn't like the tomatoes. Sheet pan tandoori chicken is the one that they enjoyed the chicken the most, but they didn't like the vegetable spices that went with it. It was a one pan thing. I'm trying to think, I don't think I got a video of that one because we knew this snowstorm was coming, and so on Wednesday night, so I did not get a good video of that, but it was just okay. And then actually I cooked 5 recipes, I think. We did my own salmon, which used the brown sugar, but it's the non-calorie brown sugar. Oh goodness, what is it called? Is it Lakanto? But anyway, I used that brown sugar because it's non-sweet, but I mixed it with a little bit of maple syrup to kind of make it spreadable. And I used the bourbon maple syrup from Costco. Guys, it was the best salmon I've ever fixed, and everybody ate it up. Now, out of the cookbook, I made her Instant Pot spring green farro risotto, which that was not for the time it took me to cook, it was not hit enough, so that will not be a keeper. But yeah, that's how this week turned out. Those are the recipes I cooked out of this cookbook. I will be picking 4 more recipes out of a new cookbook. I think I'm going to try a different cookbook this time since we only had 1 hit out of this one. May come back to it, but like I said, I have got a collection of cookbooks that I need to get through. So I am definitely going to go through them, and we may come revisit this one later.